This is Henos' Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. All right, my NBA fans, I ain't forget about y'all basketball heads. Don't worry, this one's going to compact basically like 3 videos into one, basically. So it's going to cover 3 topics. It's only going to be just a little under 10 minutes, but we're going to cover 3 topics. Now, the first topic, let's talk about LeBron James getting 0 votes, according to the NBA executives. I told you guys, man. I said, hear me and hear me well. I told you. The NBA had an agenda out on him. They knew once he started to show the decline, he was no longer LeBron James. And they figured out that the legacy is over. The cachet is officially done. They were going to turn on him. In so much so, it's going to be worse than what you've seen from Allen Iverson, worse than what you've seen from Carmelo Anthony, and worse from what's going to be prepared for Russell Westbrook, because he's next on the list too. They waiting for his decline. That whole trade from OKC to Houston, you think that was a coinky dink? Let me say it again. You think that was a coinky dink? If anybody want to know what coinky dink is, coincidence? Nah, it wasn't a coincidence, folks. Hear me and hear me well. Once a trade happens, you have to understand, when a player gets traded, no matter the level that the player is on, a trade impacts a player. Let me say it again. A trade impacts a player. No matter the level you on, a trade impacts you. Something is said for a player that plays for one organization their whole career. When players get traded, their market value does not stay the same. I know people are like, what? What are you talking about? I'll talk about that in another video, but I really want to talk about this topic. I told you guys, man, the NBA executives were going to turn on him. They started this nonsense when they were sitting here doing these little chirpings and these murmurs about, you know, LeBron James is no longer the best player in the NBA, right? That started it. When the GM said, who do you want being the guy that you start the team with? LeBron was no longer number 1 on that list. When you start seeing that decline happens from that standpoint, you know the demise is about to happen. They did this to Kobe, man, when they started ranking him number 4 in your ESPN ranking. Go watch to see what LeBron James ranking is this year, man. They done turn on this man. I told y'all, man. That's why I say, when y'all want y'all NBA gospel, y'all got to come to Henos' Sport, because I'm bringing you that what? That heat and that fire. Because what I say here is law, dog. You know, I'm the judge, jury, and the executioner, man. I'm the punisher here, dog. So when I say something, you got to hear me and hear me well. You got to marinate that thing in the corpus callosum and let it marinate in the cerebellum, because I'm telling you guys the absolute cold-hearted, unadulterated, and cutthroat truths. And the truth of the fact of the matter is LeBron James, his marketability in the NBA, his stature in the NBA, his ability to be that guy in the NBA is doing this. It's dwindling down, folks. Now, topic 1. Now let's get to topic 2. The Los Angeles Clippers, man. Steve Ballmer, you are doing a little bit too much, sir. Let me say that again. Steve Ballmer, you were doing a little bit too much, sir. I get it. You're happy that you have Kawhi Leonard. You happy that you have, you know what I'm saying, Paul George. I understand that they were 2 quote-unquote MVP type players. I get it. One was a finals MVP. The other one was number 3 in the MVP rankings. We get that. But do you have to be extra like that? I want you guys to go and look at the memes that are being done on Paul George's and Kawhi Leonard's face. Go look at their face as Steve Ballmer was just over-exaggerating. I get it. He has that over-jubilation. This just means over-excitement, over-joy. You know what I'm saying? He's over-happy of what's going on. I get it. You landed these guys. I get it. You pretty much out-power move the Los Angeles Lakers. I get it. You and Jerry Buss did an excellent job over Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka. We understand the magnitude of that. But dude, stop that nonsense, man. Because you scared Kawhi Leonard. You scared Paul George, but you scared Kawhi Leonard even more. Remember, you only got this guy for 2 years. Everybody's like, oh, he got a 3-year contract. But you forget, he can opt in. He can opt out after 2 years, folks. Let me say it again. He can opt out after 2 years. So really, they only have him for 2 years. So this is not a good way to start it, by basically trying too hard. Just be natural, man. Be who you are. Be who you were that got him to be signed. I get it. You have to show the over-jubilation or the over-excitement of having him. But do it in a reasonable way. Don't do it in a way to where you scare the guy, man. All I'm saying, folks, is just go look at Kawhi Leonard's facial expression. Go look at Paul George's facial expression. Because if I was one of them, I'd be like, damn, dude, you trying too hard. Doc Rivers was trying to talk to them to kind of appease the situation and smooth it out. But that was not a good first impression. You know what I'm saying? And then to point out Paul George's injury, these players are smothered, man. They're spoiled and they're coddled like little kids, man. You don't want to say anything negative because they can use that against you when they want to pout. You know what I'm saying? Things don't go their way. They want to use that thing against you at the right time. So Steve Ballmer, you have a lot to learn. I get it. You know what I'm saying? You're a new NBA owner, the richest that is, net worth $50 billion. So you have money to coddle them and spoil them. But you're going to have to learn etiquettes. You're going to have to learn certain ways on how to deal with these new age players' tendencies and their childish antics and their childish ways. Now, on to the third video, or the third segment here. Listen, folks. I don't care what anybody tell me, man. This nonsense about Kawhi Leonard could have went to the Los Angeles Lakers if the Clippers didn't landed Paul George. I ain't trying to hear that, man. I ain't trying to hear that. What I'm trying to hear is this. Here's the bigger reason. The bigger reason is this, folks. LeBron James would not make the public proclamation to give up his quote-unquote #1 role. You're no longer the game's best player. See, LeBron James, you would be justified in having the #1 option if you were the NBA's best player. You're no longer the NBA's best player. So how can you justify that? Number two, not only can you not justify that you're no longer the NBA's best player, you can't sit here and justify to me that you are even the second best player, or the third best player, or the fourth best player, or even the fifth best player. Just watch the ESPN rankings. Watch how they size up LeBron James. The NBA GMs let you know what time it is. The NBA executives let you know what time it is. But watch the ESPN rankings. This is how the media can bring you up. The LBJ Riders media. And then this is what they can do. When they see the downfall, they go, woo. Now people go, oh, you la hating it. You la trolling. Call it whatever you want to call, man. Call it. But people can't understand the thin line between truth telling and folks that are actually hating and trolling. I don't do no hating and trolling. I don't got time for that, man. There's too much negative energy associated with that nonsense. I'm a truth teller, man. And I do it in the most cold-hearted, unadulterated, and cutthroat truth-telling fashion. So because of the fact that I have to always render the truth is going to hurt, man. It pierces the dividing asunder of the soul and the spirit, man. It's a two-edged sword, dog. I didn't create the truth, man. The truth came from the man above, man. I'm just one of the messengers that's telling you guys the truth. I didn't create it. I'm not the author of truth. But I'm a messenger of the truth. And when the truth is in front of me, it's my job to deliver it and render it. I've been given the gift of gab. So with the gift of gab comes the responsibility to pass on wisdom and knowledge and understanding thereof and the truth that comes behind it. And the truth of the fact of the matter is LeBron James should have made the public proclamation to say that he is no longer the guy and that this is going to be Kawhi Leonard's team. This nonsense about, oh, you going to get the team in 2 years? Come on, man. And you thought you was going to get Kawhi Leonard with that? Don't get me started, man. You actually thought you were going to get Kawhi Leonard with that. A guy who just won the NBA Finals MVP. Kevin Durant, who won back-to-back NBA Finals MVP. Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's coming, who's arrived, and who's 1 to 2 years removed from dominating, taking over this league. You think those three guys, at best, forget Stephen Curry and James Harden, they ain't taking no backseats. You think those three guys, who are higher level than them, are going to take a backseat to you? Come on, LeBron James. What are you on, man? Whatever you... I need me some of that, man. Whatever you... I need me some of that, bro. Come on. But the LBJ apologists and LBJ stands are going to sit here and say, oh, you la hating and you la trolling. Think what you want. You brain full of mush. You brainwash followers. You dodo heads. That's what you are at your truest and most properest levels. There's levels to this stuff, folks. But these people have been so bamboozled. They've been so beguiled. They've been so betwixt times two. They can't even see anything, let alone a 2-foot pole in front of them to be able to tell the difference between the two. That's what's going on right here, folks. So I'm just stating the facts for what it is. LeBron James, your decline is Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, they about to take over LA. And guess what, LeBron James? You are 0 place votes amongst the NBA GMs or executives. This is Hino's Sport. checking out.